Hey team, we're here for hamstrings and glutes. This is gonna be so good. Real simple setup, simple equipment list. Um, 3 supersets, you're in, you're out. Actually 2 supersets, 1 tricep. 5 exercises total, 6 exercises total. Um, Option for heavy dumbbells or a barbell. I will be using probably a combination of the two. We're kicking off with straight leg RDLs. We do have some kickstand RDLs, which I'll be using dumbbells for. I've got 30s, 20s, 15s, my barbell with plates, and yeah, we optional mini loop band coming in at the end, but not 100% necessary. So let's get it going right now with a very quick warm up. I warmed up pretty much completely the last 5-10 minutes, but we'll just get some inchworms, some hip openers, some quick hamstring stretching in, and then we'll get it going. We love a very quick dynamic stretch. Last one, we're going to hang out here in high plank, big step of that right leg. Drop the back knee down, open up those hips. Ooh. Now I love this stretch because you're getting both hip openers at the same time. So it's super effective. Good, good. Big step back, down dog pedal. Hips come forward, big step other side. Ooh. Good, last one, hold. Step it in and hang in a yogi squat. Get those hips down. Option to press the elbows against those knees. Really work out any imbalances, any tension in the hip flexors. Oh my gosh. After squat day, my hips sometimes can feel very tight. Heel toed in. Bring those hips up. Extend. Heel toed in again if that feels good for you. Awesome work. Roll it up one vertebra at a time. Option to take the next 30 seconds stretching out anything else you might want to stretch. So do some scoops, do some hamstring stretches, just do some upper body twists, do some high kicks. Up to you. And I'm going to go back to my cheat sheet. I think I'm going to kick things off with my 30s, since we're working 8 to 12 reps for our straight leg RDLs. Hip thrust, I forgot to mention. We do have hip thrust. Option for a shallow bench, or you can start with bridging totally from the floor. My first set, I'm going to bridge from the floor with a heavy dumbbell, and then I'm going to move to my bench. So again, 15, we got 15 reps. So I might keep that dumbbell for hip thrusts all throughout. Let me move my bench so that I got room for a bar when it comes that time. And I'm going to proactively use wrist straps. Forearms are a little tight today. Makes life easier. 8 to 12 reps. Set number 1, I really like to focus on form and quality over quantity. So big inhale, bring those shoulders down and back. Really focus on the hinge here. I'm keeping dumbbells tight over the knee as opposed to by my side because I will be transitioning to a bar. All right. Now, if you're using a heavy dumbbell like me, turn your body toward that weight, then press the weight against that left hip. Roll onto the back in one motion, and that is how you rack your heavy dumbbell for hip thrust from the floor. Five more. So good. All right. So let me move that out the way. We got set number 2 coming. Set number 2, I'm going to transition to my bench so I can get a little bit more range of motion, and then potentially add a little extra resistance. Having a small space makes things interesting, to say the least. Not impossible, just interesting. All right, set number 2, 8 to 12. Now, if you're at the gym and you're not quite ready to transition to a barbell with heavy weights, but you want to add a bar to get the motion and to be able to like learn hand placement, control, all of those things, start with a Smith machine because you can lock and bail at any point if you do go too heavy and there's an extra layer of support. So if you don't have a spotter or somebody to help you and you're not challenged with the current weight that you're putting on a bar, but you're not really trusting your form, technique, range of motion, graduate to a Smith machine and go from there. 15 reps. So we're not going crazy heavy. Something challenging for that amount of reps for you today. Three more. Oh, so good. Oh, make sure you're keeping that chin tucked to chest all throughout, moving that body in one range of motion, straight line. So what I mean by that, basically, we're not coming down like that, keeping the upper body on the bench, dropping and arching. Nope. We're keeping the tailbone zipped up and almost, so this is literally how you're engaging the glutes all throughout. Zip it up, keep everything tight, come down in one range of motion with a flat back. Tension as you push, hold the tension, then go into your next rep. So do you see the difference between that and just simply like, all right, I see women doing this all the time. That ain't doing nothing. So slow it down, make sure you're under control, and make sure your connection points are there. So you're working smart technique. Always work smarter, not harder. All right, moving into set number 3. Set number 3, hardest set of every workout. Got to get some room. Set number 3 is the hardest because you know it's not your last. So you know you still have one more after this no matter what. But you know you're challenging yourself at the same time. Here we go. 15 reps. Think about how you're going to challenge yourself with your weight, resistance, control, anything. It doesn't always have to be weight. It could be time under tension. Are you releasing tension going into your next rep too quickly? If so, hold that tension at the top of the rep like this. Boom, 1, 2. Then you come down Boom, 1, 2. You feel the difference? Five more. Come on, push. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, if you want to know the worst thing about lifting heavy, the worst thing about lifting heavy is then not getting enough protein to support everything that you just did and everything you're currently doing, everything you're about to do. So stop making that mistake. Make new mistakes. Just make completely different mistakes. If you're not getting adequate protein, I'm just going to say it, being in here and doing this doesn't really have a point. It really doesn't. You're not going to see a return on the time and energy investment that you're putting in here if you're just not going to eat enough. In general, we're getting enough protein. So you can't eat 1,200 calories of straight protein and expect that to make a difference in anything. No one built muscle eating 1,200 calories. Ever, 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 ever. Maybe you start out with that amount of calories, but as you start to build, you're going to need to increase and make sure you're getting enough to not only support energy levels, but your level of recovery, because your ass needs to recover after doing this shit. So if you're literally never recovering, and if you're not doing the basics, there's no point in wasting your time at all. I'm just being real. Last set, best set. Keep everything tight. Last time, make it count. Five more. Come on, push. First superset. Done. Actually, I'm going to keep these grips on just in case. Let's move this bench out the way. Now this is how a very simple profile, guys, makes a huge impact. Kickstand RDLs, and I'm going to start with 20s. My intention is to progress to 30s, but unilateral work can be a lot on the grip. So I'm going to start with 20s, really properly engage, and then see how I feel going forward. We have 3 sets, 8 to 12 per side. Kickstand position, 1 forward, 1 foot back. Back knee is soft. Come down, come down, come down. Deepest point of the hinge. Engage both cheeks, not just one. 95% of the effort in that front leg. But that other ass cheek is coming in at the end. Don't think that it's not. What you do on one side, you must do on the other. Awesome shit. Awesome shit. Set number 1. Take a quick recovery. All right, so 8 to 12 reps. I fell somewhere in the middle. I'm going to go heavier and push the same amount of reps for the next 2 sets. If you need to drop, shake it out, reset, in between switching sides, go for it. I'd rather that than you rush through. All right, now, boom. If you reach the point of shaking, like I did, or if you watched me and you're wondering, like, why is she shaking? She's not even lifting that heavy. That is the power of really good technique, a really good focus on the mind to muscle connection, and really good just control, right? And when you're stressing the right muscles and not using other muscles to overcompensate, like I constantly used to use my quads, to overcompensate, or my low back, because I had muscle imbalances. And that's what happens when you have muscle imbalances that you don't work through. My hamstrings were weak. My hip flexors were weak. My adductors were insanely weak. And these are common weak muscle groups that if we're not bringing the right focus to, that will stay weak. And you'll just keep using other muscles to overcompensate. And you'll never actually bring awareness to the muscles that you're trying to work. Adductors. Why is it so hard to build a shelf? Because these muscles are historically weak. Women don't know how to engage properly. So if you never learn how to engage properly, you're not successfully going to work that muscle group in that area. If you take a weight that's maybe a little lighter than you think it should be, but you move in the right way, with the right technique, with the right tempo, you're going to be so much more successful. Last set, best set. Come on. Stay with me. Find that point of shaking and quaking. If you don't get it at 8, keep going to 10. If you don't get it to 10, keep going to 12. Quick little shakeout. 10 on the other side. See what I mean? The first time that the shaking happens, it's like, holy shit, I'm just noticing the sky's blue. The sky's been blue the whole time. Don't speed up, slow down. Way to get it done. We got low impact tricep, last little bit of work. Come on, focus with me. Single leg march. Glute medius kickbacks. Bridge position. Arms wide. Boom. 1, boom. 2, 20 reps total. 10 per side. With control. Lower down. Now, we're going to kick it back and slightly out. Do you see the difference? No other motion. No arching or rounding the back. Neutral spine. Neutral head, neck, shoulders. Eight to 12 reps each. What you do on one side, you must do on the other side. One side gets that natural rest and recovery. Good. Set number 2. We're rolling right into it. Tricep means 3 movements in a row. Halfway there. We get a little bonus core work here. Lower down, good. Woo, breathe through the shaking. Come on. We got this. I know it feels like the isolation movements like these are always, always, always the hardest. And it's because we're stressing smaller muscle groups and we're really working to isolate. Plus our muscles are already fatigued from our compound lifts. So we need both, not one or the other. 2 more per side. Almost there. Come on, push. Last 10 per side. Take a moment, bring the awareness, draw the belly button in towards the spine. If you've been struggling with consistency, I want you to think about this. What would your life look like if you had no fear or doubt? Would you do things different? How would you move? How would you speak to yourself? Would you give up on yourself? If you had zero doubt or fear, because that's how I want you to live. What's my next best move? Instead of, why am I such a failure? I'll start again when I can be perfect. Quit starting again and start moving forward imperfectly instead, with zero fear and zero doubt. Go out, slay the rest of your day, hydrate, eat, stretch, move, go slay, and I'll see you next time.